Okay, hello there everybody. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to take a look at setting up uh, more dialogue, more quests, and a little bit of changing back and forth and things like that. In the chapter and also in our exercises, we went through and in Sancho we've basically got two quest systems in Sancho, and they work. We have the sheep quest and we have the Dapple quest. And the sheep quest, if I edit this and take a look at what's going on. This is the full sheep quest where he will find the sheep, they'll follow him, and then when he takes them back to the pen, he'll leave them in the pen, and we get these updates to our journal, right? And we've got that working, and that's fine and cool and all that. And we've also got a Dapple quest down here where we go find Dapple, and got a slight error in here, so let's fix this really quick. So it looks like I've got a event here. Aha, so let's add an event. Let's do a got Dapple event. Now this is something that I've mentioned in videos and whatnot. Whenever you copy a state machine from like one object to another, whatever, generally speaking, don't go in here and rename events, because if you do, you're going to get what happened here. So like at one point I copied this from my sheep quest and then just kind of changed it, and then if I rename this, I get the wrong names in here and everything. So right here I'll just change this to be transition event of got Dapple, and come over here and go ahead and remove this got sheep because I'm not using that in here. And I'll also remove my hit gate. I'm not using that in here as well. So I'll just kind of leave it like that. And everything's fine there. Let's go to my follow me Dapple quest. I turn off my Dapple quest because I've got them, and my donkey has been found. Okay, so we're going to need to add a couple things in here based upon what we did with the sheep. But first, let's get Teresa talking to us and get that Teresa turning on the quest for us and all of that working the way that we'd like it to. So I'm going to come over here into Teresa's system, and she's got a starting dialogue here. Let me go ahead and let's copy this, because we're going to need a dialogue for the sheep as well. The starting dialogue is actually for the Dapple, for the donkey. So I'm going to go ahead and do a copy component, and before I copy it, before I paste it, I'm going to go ahead and rename this one to be Dapple Dialogue, a little bit easier to keep track of, and I'll say Dialogue for Dapple Quest. For Dapple Quest, and then I'm going to come down here, do Add Component, go to Playmaker, Playmaker FSM, and this new one I just added, we'll hit our gear up here and do a paste component values, and this time I'm going to call this one sheep dialogue, and this will be the dialogue for sheep quest, and we'll get all of these working in just a little bit. Dialogue for sheep quest, there we go. Okay, so we've got that dialogue in there. So let's take a look at how this all is working. If we bring up our dialogue detection system for Teresa, she's gonna, whenever we collide with her, we go over here and we fire up our dialogue system, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on here, and we'll tumble over this way. And I've got the music and narrator turned off, but still have some sound going because there's an issue here. And we just died. So why did we just die? Well, let's take a look at why we just died. If we come over here and to begin, notice what it wants to fire up is this thing called starting dialogue, which we don't have. I just renamed it, right? So what I want to do now is fire up Dapple dialogue at the moment. This is going to be changed here pretty heavily coming up pretty soon, but we're not there yet. Let's kind of cross one bridge at a time. So now I'll turn over here. We'll run back up here. Take a look. Notice my footsteps keep running. Okay, not so cool. So here's what we want to do. Let's go into edit my instance. So up here at the top where I'm turning all of these off, I'm going to go ahead and do I'm going to copy this action where I'm turning off Sancho's movement, and let's paste it in here somewhere. Go ahead and pull it up here at the top. And let's see, I'm going to turn off his footsteps, like so, and turn them back on once we exit this state. Once the conversation is done, basically. So let's see what we have now. Let's see if we've got the footstep problem taken care of. Let's come over here. Okay, I don't hear any footsteps. But then when it turns it back on, we're playing noises. Well, why is that happening? We're not moving. Well, here's what's going on. If we jump over to Sancho, if we take a look at Sancho's footstep state machine, where what makes us make noise is looking at a move speed variable that we're pulling out of a movement FSM. So let's jump over to movement FSM right here. Now in the movement, once we turn on, once we re-enable this movement FSM, in fact, basically what's happening is our move speed variable here, it only gets a value when we're actually moving. Where is it? Get axis vector right here. See, that's the only time we're actually storing it. Over here in idle, when we're not moving, we're not storing it. So let's go ahead and do we'll just, this get axis vector, let's just copy this thing. We'll just select our gear. We'll go to a copy selected action, come over here to idle, and let's go ahead and paste this action in here. So now we are storing all this information. We don't really need to store the move direction, but we kind of have to, so we'll store it. Mainly what we care about here is the move speed. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got now, so that when this movement gets re-enabled after the dialogue is done, we should be setting our move speed back to 0. So let's see if we've got that working, and therefore got our footstep minor bug solved. Probably should have saved that bug for like a chapter 11 video maybe. Okay, who are you? Like what? Okay, and there we go. We got no footstep audio. Start running. We have footstep audio. Very good. Looks cool. Okay, yeah, I definitely should have saved that for a chapter 11 bug thing, but it was here now, so I just went ahead and fixed it. Let's see. Let's move on. Let me go ahead. Sancho chapter 11. Let me go ahead and apply that change to him. Okay, let's get back to Teresa. So here's what we want to do. After we're done with our dialogue with Teresa, we want to turn on Sancho's Dapple quest. Okay, so when this dialogue is finished, right down here, let's edit our instance, we want to go ahead and activate the Dapple quest. Let's see, what can we do here? We don't really have anything going on here. Let's see. Nope, don't really have anything going on here where we can kind of store this information. So let's see, what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting an easy way to simply know that Sancho hit me. Let's see, what do we have here? Oh, come on, edit instance, open. Okay, so we've got Sancho as a variable here, huh? Alright, couple things we can do. Let's do it this way for the moment, okay? And the reason I'm going to do it this way is because I've already got the variable here. So I'm going to kind of keep it here. So inside this close right here, let's go ahead and do a action browser. We're going to enable an FSM. And let's get rid of, well, I'll just move that off screen for the moment. And we're going to specify game object. Game object is going to be Sancho. And the FSM name is going to be Dapple Quest. Turn it on. Do not reset on exit. So now that should turn on our Dapple Quest, right? So let's jump back over to Sancho real quick. Sancho, where are you at? He's way up here. You know what? I'm going to move both of these down to the bottom here, so that way maybe they'll be easier for me to quickly find as we work on this. There we go. Alright, so Sancho is right here. Let's take a look at our Dapple Quest really quick, And what I want to do is I want to borrow some stuff from what we did with the sheep quest, which is mainly update my journal. So let's jump over to our sheep quest. And let's take a look at what we've got going on here. Oh, we've got some errors here. Wonderful. Events. Go with the got sheep. I want this event to be a got sheep. I want you to be a got sheep. There we go. Okay, got that fixed. So that should be fine. Let's go ahead and apply this. There we go. Make sure it's still fixed. Go to Dapple Quest. It looks good. Go to Sheep Quest. All right. So what we've got going on here inside the Sheep Quest here is where we are using this quest display thing to update the string, right? We did this string concatenation. Well, for Dapple, we're not going to need this degree of complexity. Basically, I just need a simple statement here. So I'm going to grab this set property right here and do a copy selected actions. Let's go back over to our Dapple quest. And right here, let's edit our instance. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in right here. Paste actions right here. Quest display. Notice it automatically gave me a variable over here called quest display, and it even brought over all of its assignments and everything, so we're looking pretty good there. I really don't need quest text, but I'll leave it there for the moment. I'll come back over here to my state, and for the quest display, I don't want to use a variable. I'm going to update this to say go find Dapple. Okay, that's nice. And then I'm going to come over here to follow me, and this is once he has actually found Dapple. Let's do another paste right here, paste actions. Put this up above our disabling of this, and we're going to say go talk to Teresa. Okay. Alright, so let's see what we've got here. So now we should have Teresa turning on this quest. Our quest is updating our little journal at the bottom, and then once we have Dapple, we can go back and go talk to Teresa. So, at least if everything works correctly. So let's run over here. Interesting little jitter lag. Okay, I've been looking for you too. Okay, I'm off to find Dapple. It says go find Dapple. That's very nice. Let's go find Dapple. I know where he is. He is down here. Hey, Dapple, what's up with you? Doom, 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 doom. I'm almost there, Dapple. Okay, let's grab Dapple. Come on, donkey. Okay, now it tells me go talk to Teresa again. Okay, so then I go back and talk to Teresa. Now, if I do it right now, it's simply going to show up with my same Dapple quest dialogue. I don't want it to at this point. At this point, I want it to show up with a new dialogue, right? Everybody with me? Okay. So we've got the basics in place. Now I want to add one other little detail here. Just kind of, thinking ahead. If I come over here and I talk to her really quick, I've been looking for you too. I'm off. Let me back up. I can walk up to her again and initiate this conversation again. I don't want that, okay? So basically, once she's given you a quest, she ignores Sancho until he goes off and does what she told him to do. So let's let's edit this. And so once this quest gets turned on, I'm going to go ahead and do a variable over here. Let's create a variable. We've got that this target is the object I collided with. I need another one. I'm going to go with a game object. And this game object is going to be, I'm going to call it Teresa. And I'm going to go ahead and make it an inspector, but I'm just going to do a quick assignment right here. Where'd Teresa go? There she is. And drop Teresa right down in there. There we go. So Teresa is now assigned in here. So once this quest is activated, let's do an action browser here, and we will do an enable FSM. Add that action to state. We're going to specify our object. Our object is going to be Teresa, And what we're going to do is we're going to disable dialogue detection. We're going to disable it, and whenever we leave this state, basically go to follow me, when we're done, we're going to turn that back on so that she will then talk to him again. Alright, so let's check that out really quick. And then we should be ready to move on and get our sheep dialogue going. And, activations going back and forth with that one. So let's come over here. Let's talk to her again. I've been looking for you too. Okay, I'm off to get Dapple. So let's back up a little bit. Let's see if she'll talk to us. She's like, Sancho, quit being stupid. Go find Dapple. It even tells you down here, go find Dapple, Sancho, please. Now, actually, at this point, this is where we could really benefit with some audio barks. Barks are just real quick one-liners that NPCs would say. So, like, I could have my wife record a whole bunch of things that Teresa would say, like, hi, Sancho, keep it up, Sancho, good luck, Sancho, go finish the quest, Sancho, whatever. And then when he runs up there and collides with her and does that trigger, then just have her randomly play one of those barks rather than going into a whole new dialogue. That would be a really nice thing to kind of add to it. And I'd encourage you guys to go ahead and record some audio, and based on what we've done with the audio chapter, throw them in there just to add some more customization and your own style to some of what you've been working on here. So now I can come back and we should be able to talk to her again. And now she'll talk to us. But she's going to give us the same thing. She's going to give us the Dapple quest again, which I don't want her to give us the Dapple quest. So let's go back into Teresa and let's think about what we've got going on here. So what we've got going on here is it triggers, and once it triggers, it comes over here and it turns stuff off. But what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to figure out which quest do we need to do. So I'm going to go with a begin right here and close. I'm going to kind of wander it off to the side somewhere. So this begin, I'm going to call this, let's call it initialize dialogue system. Okay, and then after that we're going to have another state here, and this state is going to be determine which dialogue. Okay, our finished, when we're done initializing, is going to come down here to determine which dialogue we should do. And I can set this up however I want. I think I'm going to want it like that maybe. So we'll determine which dialogue to do. Okay, so in here we're going to, where we initialize, we turn off Sancho's movement, we turn off his footsteps, we turn off his rotation, we turn off his actions, turn off his health, turn off, what is this? We look at, kind of don't really matter, we can't see anybody with our new overlay, but let's leave it there anyway. Let's see, Sancho looks at her, we have this enabled dialogue. Then we're doing these bool tests here, and we have this play animation, Sancho's idle, whatever. Sancho's not really, can't see him anyway. So we've got these two right here where we're enabling something and where we are testing to see if the conversation is finished. All right. So we're going to have to remove both of those and put them somewhere else. Let's add a state here, and this state is going to be Dapple dialogue, right? And I'm going to put it up over here. And let's grab these two that we had right here. Okay, so we have this where we're going to turn on our Dapple dialogue, and then we're going to wait until the conversation is finished, and then the Dapple dialogue will automatically turn back off. So let's go ahead and do a copy selected actions, put them over here in our Dapple dialogue, and I will do paste, and I'm going to add an event here, and I'm going to do two events here. One is start Dapple dialogue, and the other one is finish Dapple dialogue. Okay, so we're going to need a state coming out of here, add transition finish Dapple dialogue, and that's where I was using this finished one. We'll do this. Let's pull this close over here. We're going to go like so. Sorry, we're going to go like so. Determine which dialogue is going to be, we're going to add a start Dapple dialogue right here. Boing, boing. Then we get up here and we actually start our Dapple dialog. Once the Dapple dialog is done, we're going to go over here and basically close it down. In this situation, we're going to be turning on the Dapple quest. Okay, so let's say close Dapple dialog. There we go. And then it goes all the way back over there, right? Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to figure out a way to structure this so it's going to be a little bit easier for us to see as this goes along. Oh well, let's just do it that way. You know what? Let's do this. So I'm going to get rid of this line right here. I'm going to add a new event, and this new event is going to be, you know what? We don't have to return to idle because this whole system gets turned off, right? Once the dialog starts, this gets turned off and then it gets turned back on and we're back in the idle state. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and eliminate this finish transition like so, and we'll just put closed Dapple dialog out there. Okay, now let's see, we're going to need another variable. This variable is going to be, we're going to actually need several variables, but I'm going to start off with let's say Dapple quest finished. Okay, and it's going to be Boolean like so. Add Dapple quest finished, and we're going to, in our state right here, it's false by default. We're going to do a bool test action browser. Let's pull this bool test over, and this bool test is going to do bool variable is going to be Dapple quest finished. If it is false, meaning that quest is not finished, we're going to start Dapple dialog, and we're only going to have to do this one frame. Boom, it's just going to rifle through one time and see what happens. Okay, so I've done some changing to this. I've not changed the dialog in any way. All I've done is change how I start the dialog, and this is going to go on to become the skeleton. Hopefully you can see where this is going to go to branch off into other ones. I can have a sheep quest finished and go from here to sheep dialog, close sheep dialog, right? So once again, just see what's going on here. Oh, I need to get rid of, I'm going to just disable these and leave them there, but I'll just disable them. So we're idling. Sancho comes up and triggers us, touches us. We come down here, we turn off all of Sancho's state machines, make everybody look at each other. Once that's done, we come over here, we go through a series of Boolean variables, and these variables are storing whether or not a quest has been finished. So if the Dapple quest has not been finished, then we're going to go ahead and start our Dapple dialog by turning on the Dapple dialog and wait for the dialog to turn this Boolean variable off when it's done. And this was just stripped straight out of over here, so it'll work over here as well. So once it's done, we come over here, and then we're going to close down by setting this variable is over to false, and we don't even really need that because, let's see, well, yeah, we really don't need it, but we'll leave it there anyway. And we turn off, or we turn on Sancho's Dapple quest. So let's make sure this dialog is working before we go on and get the sheep one. Make sure our little changes we made to it still work with our sheep, or with this. So let's go find Teresa. Hey Teresa, what's up with you? Okay. So we got down here, and look at what happened. So let's take a look at what we've got here. So let's stop this. Let's go over here to initialize dialog system, edit instance. So this play animation, you know what, you can't even see Sancho, who cares? These smooth lookouts, once again, as I said, you can't see anybody, who cares? Because we have our dialog overlay on top of them. So let's just do that, turn those off, and then see what we've got. So let's go find Teresa again. Okay. Allows me to move. Oh, I know why it's allowing us to move as well. The reason it's allowing us to move is because right here edit instance, we are resetting on exit all of these. So let's do these. Let's not reset on exit, and we'll end up just copying all of these over. Now I could actually put, well, no, let's not do it that way. So I'm going to select all of these guys where I've turned all of those off. Go to my gear. Let's copy selected actions. Come over here to closing down where we're done with our dialog. We'll paste these actions into here, and this time we're going to turn on each one of these so that we re-enable Sancho's actions. There we go. So this is really a big example of, don't go through and build the whole thing at once. Go through, build a little bit, test it. Make sure it's working. Okay, so you can see I'm stationary, looks pretty cool. Okay, I've been looking for you too. Okay, I'll go find Dapple. There we go. The quest worked. And, we're in good shape now. Okay, so the quest worked. All right, so that is all set up and in place and ready to go. So now what we want to do is we want to get our sheep one working. One other thing we're going to, well, let's add that here in just a second. Let's go ahead, go to our variables, edit instance, and let's do a sheep quest finished. So I'm going to do a sheep quest finished. And I'm going to do a bool on that as well. Add. It's going to be false by default. I'll come over here, do another bool test, and this time I'm going to test sheep quest finished, and if it is false, I'm going to go over here and do a start sheep dialog like so, and we're going to have a finish sheep dialog like so. We're going to need both of those events. So let's come over here to our state. So if our sheep quest finished is false, we're going to go ahead and start our sheep dialog. Let's add a transition here, start sheep dialog, and let's grab both of these states, Control C to copy, Control V, put them right over here. Let me make this a little bit wider perhaps. There we go. Start sheep dialog will come down here. And let me rename these. Instead of close Dapple dialog 2, this will be close sheep dialog like so. And instead of turning on the Dapple quest, we will turn on the sheep quest. Alright, everything else is fine, stays the way it is. Dapple dialog 2, we'll change that name to sheep dialog. Sheep dialog. Let's see, we're going to enable our sheep dialog, and when it is done, we're going to do a finish sheep dialog. Right now we have finished Dapple dialog, so let's change that transition event to finish. I did it again, to finish sheep dialog. All right, so now we have our logic in place here, and the way this works is it comes through, checks the Dapple quest. If we haven't done it, we're going to get that conversation. If we have done it, it's going to check the sheep quest. If we haven't done it, we're going to get that conversation. If we have done it, it's going to check the next one down here, and on and on and on. So this sequential checking from top to bottom. Now, of course, this is forcing me to do this in order, but that was kind of part of the design of this, was to have quests sequentially in order. Like my next quest might be to go find pigs, and then after that to go get rid of spiders, and then after that to go get rid of Sanson, and then I'm done with basic game there. Okay, so we've got our sheep dialog. All that is ready to go. Let's go to our sheep dialog and let's actually change what we've got in here so that it's correct. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over into our design document that we have, and let's see, that's my Dapple conversation, and here's my sheep conversation. Goodness, that's blurry. Oops, I don't know what I just did. That was the wrong button, obviously. I don't know why. Control minus zooms out when I'm in Photoshop. I wasn't in Photoshop. So let's see, where's my conversation? Okay, so here's the conversation I'm looking for. Control mouse wheel will zoom out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and kind of start doing this, all right? And we're just going to build this based upon, so I'm going to kind of move it off screen here. You know, you're more than welcome to grab the design document or look, you know, and take a look at what we've got to put together here. So we're going to start off right up here. All this looks correct. All this is correct. Right there. So this is what she is saying. She is saying, welcome back, Sancho. I'm so glad you found Dapple. Okay, and then he's going to have two options. His first option is going to be, let's say it is going to be, that's button 2, is going to be, it's a donkey, you know, whatever. And button 1 is going to be, me too. This is good, good Sancho. He's also happy he found the sheep, or the donkey, whatever he was looking for. And then we're going to come over here on this side, and instead of it being called UOF, let's see, this is going to be, did you see sheep? Alright, and she is going to say, that's button 1, right here it is. She's going to say, did you see any sheep while you were out there? And he's got two options here. Button 1 is going to say, yes, I did. Haha. And button 2, where I am actually disabling it, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to grab both of these right here. Oops. Hold down Shift. Grab both of those. Let's copy those components, copy those actions, and let's paste them right down here. And instead of button 1, this is going to be my button 2. And this button 2 text is going to say, no, I must have missed those. No, I must have missed those because, you know, I wasn't looking for sheep. And this is going to be button 2, and this is going to be on click 2. We don't have a transition for on click 2, so we will add one. Add transition on click 2. And let's see. Kind of, oops. Going to kind of just move some stuff around here. This one's going to come up here, like so. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to add a new, I'm going to copy this state right here and then just paste it in right here. And this one is going to be, I'm going to put it right here. It's going to say, never pay attention, like so. This is going to come out of button 2. It's going to go down here. And then I'm going to add one more, Control V. And this one is going to say, I can't read that, town sheep. So this one is going to be towns sheep. Towns sheep. And that's going to come out of button 1 right there. Alright. So let me kind of just take you two guys and just pull you over there. And just kind of focus going down here one side at a time. Alright. And you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So, you know, we have never paid attention, then we got to go there. And then from here, we're going to go to 2, one of which is end. And from this one, we only go to 1, which is right there. And I see that one only has 1 ending as well. So let's grab one of these that only has, well, actually, let's get these working first. So, never pay attention. So, never pay attention. Let's see. She says, Sancho, you never do pay attention. Sancho, you never do pay attention, period. The town's sheep have left the pens and need to be brought back for their safety, period. Okay, so button 1 is going to be, but why me? And button 2 does not exist. Button 1 is going to be button 1 event. Button that does not exist. So we're only going to have the button 1 coming out of here, which means we're going to need to do an enable. You know what, let's just save time. Let's just come over here, and it's actually activate game object, but I'm going to just copy this. Come back up here, never pay attention, and let's paste that in here. And yeah, it's button 2. We're going to deactivate that and reset it when we exit. Okay, that's cool enough. Now we only need one exit from here, so let me get rid of on-click 1. And on-click 1, as you can see, is going to come to this because this is your kingdom, my dear Sancho. And I think this is going to be a good one for that. So I'm going to copy that, paste it right here. I'm going to call this your kingdom. And she is going to say, because this is your kingdom, my dear Sancho, she is so kind. And that is after he has whined about having to do something. And his button 1 text is going to say okay. And then from there it's going to go to this end. So let's copy that, put it up over here. A whole bunch of things are going to start going to end. There we go. Let's take a look at what we have here. Dialogue detection. Yeah, we're turning that like so. Okay, yep, that all looks fine. This should be working just fine. Okay, so let's come back to this side of our conversation now. Well, my dear, those are the town's sheep, so that's what we're doing here. One goes to, but why me? And the other one goes to, okay. Alright, so let's do that. So we'll get into our town sheep here. Well, my dear, those are the town's sheep, period. You need to bring them back to their pens so that they will be safe, period. And so button 1 is going to be whining, but why me? Why me? And button 1 is going to go to, because it's your kingdom, you twit. Button 2 is going to be okay, and it's going to go down there to end. Alright, coming together nicely. Okay, so what we've got so far is we've got here going down to this one, going down to this one, going down to this one, going down to here, also this one, down to this one, over to here, down to here, also this one, down to this one, over to here. So now we've got to do this side, which we need 2. We need this one, which is going to have 2 options, and this one, which is going to have 2 options. So let's start off by getting this one working, by getting its information correct, where he said, it's a donkey. And she is going to say, that may be, but I bet he can help you find the sheep. To which he is going to respond, number 1, with sheep. What sheep? Because of course he didn't see any sheep. And that's going to go from button 1 to you never pay attention and cascade all the way down there. Button 2 is going to be, it's just a donkey. You know, he's still like, whatever, he's just, you know. This is insolent Sancho, I guess. Alright, there we go. So let's go ahead and get rid of some of these things. So I'm going to take that one. I don't need it. This end, I'm going to get rid of that. End 2, I'm going to go ahead and rename that back to end, like so. And then I've got this one right here. On click 2 is going to come down to here. On click 1 will go to, because it's your kingdom, and on click 2 will go to fine, okay. All right, so let's get these in place. So she's going to start off by saying, basically giving in to his insolence. Fine, Sancho. At least you saw the sheep. At least you saw the sheep. Because he didn't say sheep, what sheep? So, he saw the sheep. Kind of see how this is leading, our conversation is leading the player into a direction. Those are gets the same information regardless of how they navigate through this conversation. And you need to get them back to their pens for their safety. There we go. To which he's going to start off with, but why me? Because he's still having issues. Or he's going to say, okay, cool, I got you. Okay. All right. So let's see if this dialogue is working. Basically, we just replaced some stuff from the Dapple thing, just following what we had already designed. So by already designing this dialogue out and making sure that it had the information in it that we wanted, we just had to type stuff in here. It wasn't that bad. And just, put things where we needed them to be. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Let's go ahead and let's start this off. Come on over here. Let's run over this way. Pick up our coin. Why not? I've been looking for you too. Okay, I'm off to get my sheep, my Dapple, whatever. I've forgotten my quest. So I'm going to come down here, grab my Dapple. I probably should have moved him closer because I'm lazy. I don't want to run this far. Hey, Dapple, come on. Let's get back up here. Let's go talk to Teresa again and see what happens this time. You know what? It's not going to work. Darn it. I forgot something very important. What I forgot is in our Sancho, in our Dapple quest, when we complete our quest, we're going to have to turn that quest finished thing to true. We have finished that quest. And we've already got a reference to Teresa somewhere. We've got a reference to her target object. Use owner Dapple quest. Oh, I'm sorry. We put it over here, right? And this is where we turn that on and whatnot. But now we're going to have to over here and follow me. Let's do a FSM bool. We're going to set an FSM bool like so. Add that action to state. We're not going to use the owner. We're going to specify an object. It's going to be Teresa. The FSM is going to be dialogue detection. The bool is going to be Dapple quest finished. Yes, we did. We finished that quest. And that's just reaching into the conversation so that it knows not to give us that quest again. Alright, so I guess it's a good thing I had to run that far because while I was running I was kind of thinking about what we have there in place. So let's come over here and let's talk to her one more time. I've been looking for you too. Okay, I'm off. I'm going to go find that donkey because I know where it is. Hey, donkey. My headphones keep getting stuck on my keyboard drawer. That is so weird. Okay. Move down here. What you up to, donkey? We're going to do a U-turn. That was a wide U-turn. And once we get up here, welcome back, Sancho. Okay, see, it went to our next quest. So I can say, I'm going to be nice. Me too. Yes, I saw those. Okay, I'm off to get them. And notice it updated down here. It turned on my sheep quest. It's like, okay, go take care of your sheep now. Go find them. And Dapple's like, hey, what's up, Sancho? Let's go do, I don't know. Let's just, hey, I'm with you, Sancho. Whatever. Hey, he follows you around. And then we can come over here and we can grab our sheep. And we can go through our sheep quest. So just one thing here just to wrap this up here. Let's go ahead. I'm in Sancho. Let's go ahead jump into our sheep quest now that all that's working. And in idle, let's see, we're going to need a variable. Let's edit instance. I'm going to do a variable. Let me move this out of the way. And this variable is going to be a reference to Teresa. Teresa, it really should be lowercase, but game object. I'm going to add that, make it public, just in case I want it. Although I am going to auto assign it, something like so. Okay, so once this quest gets turned on, once idle gets turned on, and yeah, somebody's going to get a whole bunch of friend requests probably. That wasn't me, by the way. Not really sure who that was. Oh, actually, I do know who that was. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so idle. I'm idle. Blah blah blah. Okay. I need to come down here. This whole quest works just fine. Let's not break it. We're going to go to an action browser, and in our action browser, we're going to enable an FSM right here. The FSM I'm going to enable is going to be specific. Specifically, it's going to be Teresa, and it's going to be her dialogue detection. I'm going to turn it off, but I'm not going to reset it on exit. I'm not going to reset it on exit until we've dropped our sheep off all the way here at the end. So all the way here at the end, we're going to do another action browser, enable FSM, followed by a FSM bool, which is going to be a set FSM bool, add action to state. And let's see, so we're going to set an FSM bool. This is going to be specified. It's going to be specified as Teresa. The FSM is going to be dialogue detection. The bool I care about is sheep quest finished. Yes, it is. And then I'm going to turn on an FSM as well. Let's do that first. Specify Teresa. And it's going to be dialogue detection. Turn it on. Do not reset on exit. And now I'm ready for my next one, pig quest, whatever it is. So with this basic architecture in place, you can keep expanding on this, to your heart's content until you have however many quests you want in the system. Fairly clean, fairly easy to deal with, not overly awkward. Once you kind of get your mind around the core logic of how it's working. So hopefully this was helpful and beneficial. I know that I think this is solution to exercise 4 in chapter 10. I'm sure there's other ways to do it. This is just the way that I approached it. Questions, comments, thoughts, anything, just throw them into the comments below. Look forward to hearing from you guys. Other than that, have a good day, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.